story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there, welcome to CoreTV News for this hour. I am Gift or Gete. Suspected Boko Haram members have carried out a bomb attack at a bus terminal in Gombe town less than 1 week after the Nigerian authorities warned of likely attacks on soft targets. The bomb went off on Monday morning at the Duku Motor Park, killing scores of people at the crowded terminal. Security forces confirmed an explosion at the park but have yet to give a casualty figure. It's the second bomb attack on a bus terminal in Gombe town in about a month. The police authorities say operational strategies are in place to enhance security provision during this year's Christmas holidays and beyond. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu said in a statement that Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba has since directed all zonal assistant inspectors general of police and commissioners in charge of state commands to ensure police visibility and patrols in their domains. The police is also deploying their striking units, including Police Mobile Force, Special Protection Units, Counter-Terrorism Unit, and Anti-Bomb Squad as part of the measures. The police air wing will carry out air surveillance patrols, while the Marine Police will ensure a sustained patrol of all waterways. Operators of public places are further advised to be vigilant and ensure they properly screen all visitors, users of their facilities during the Yellowtide celebration. Members of the public are also urged to report any suspicious movement in their areas to the police. The Department of State Services says it is creating the right and conducive environments for the conduct of the 2015 general elections. The service says it will not allow divisive politicians and terrorists to truncate the nation's democracy or undermine national security during the exercise. The Director General of the DSS, Ekpenyongita, disclosed this during the graduation ceremony of Executive Intelligence Management course in Abuja. It stated that the DSS has trained its personnel and other senior executives of other government agencies and equipped them with the needed knowledge, exposure and expertise to ensure a safe and stable environment in which the political process can be conducted without hindrance. The DG says the agency has recorded modest achievement in the past 5 years, stressing that the government, public and other stakeholders have shown obvious approval of the service efforts to ensure a safe, stable and indivisible Nigeria, something he attributed to the officers and men of the agency. The military authorities say it is too early to confirm the number of insurgents killed in a failed attack on PHCN engineers working to restore power supply to some parts of Borno State. Some reports had suggested that soldiers on patrol killed 75 Boko Haram members around Bula Boring village near Damboa, but the figure is likely to be higher. The Defense Headquarters said in a statement that an ongoing mopping operation will determine the number of terrorists who died in the encounter with troops on Friday. It, however, confirmed that a large number of terrorists died in the process, while their IED-laden Hilux vehicle was destroyed. The military says troops also captured a Hilux vehicle earlier stolen from the Borno State Ministry of Education, but now repainted and rigged up with an anti-aircraft gun. Other weapons recovered by troops include rocket-propelled grenades and rifles. 2 soldiers also died in the encounter. The military, meanwhile, says army engineers who have been clearing IEDs and effecting repairs on bridges have repelled an attack while working on a bridge around Musara. Several terrorists were said to have died in the encounter, while 4 general response purpose machine guns, 3 rifles, and 2 rocket-propelled grenade launcher were captured. 1 soldier, however, died, while 3 others were wounded. in the encounter. In another development, troops have been conducting air and land patrol of towns in Adamawa State, including Mubi, Uba, Gakida, Muva, and parts of coordinated counter-terrorism operation declared insurgent operating in the state. The death sentence on 12 soldiers and another 54 convicted of mutiny by a general court-martial of the Nigerian army has been described as harsh and inappropriate by human rights lawyer Femi Falana. Falana says the judgment is not in keeping with reality and needs to be redressed, as acts for which the soldiers were convicted cannot be categorized under the offense of mutiny. While filing questions from journalists, Falana maintains that the military is poorly equipped and sending the soldiers out for operations without adequate weaponry is as good as sending them to their deaths. He, however, disclosed that the case will be pursued to the Supreme Court, expressing confidence that the soldiers will be discharged of their alleged offense.
Because the verdict is a genocidal act on the part of the military authorities, the court-martial did not consider any of the defenses put up by the soldiers. The facts were not properly evaluated, and therefore the judgment cannot stand. The boys were not engaged in mutiny. On July 9, that battalion had lost 3 officers and 23 soldiers, and 82 people were wounded. On that occasion, the military authorities assured the boys that they were no longer going to be engaged in the war without the provision of adequate weapons, because the Boko Haram sharps are by far more armed with sophisticated weapons. When on August 4, the soldiers were asked to move and recapture Damboa, Delwa, and Balubin, they made it clear to the authorities. Why are you sending us on a suicidal mission? You have said you will give us arms. Where are they? And of course, they didn't make them available. But notwithstanding that, by 18th and 19th of August, when weapons were made available, the same soldiers went for the operation and rescued those who had been captured. And the witness of the government, the military witness, the first witness, commended the boys for their gallantry. We were therefore surprised that they were in fact charged in the first place for mutiny. And I made it clear to the authorities, a demand for weapons in line with the provisions of Section 217 of the Constitution cannot be mutinous. Even though they are soldiers, right? As the members of the public are made to believe that they have signed to die. They didn't sign to die carelessly. They didn't sign to commit murder, to commit suicide. They signed to defend the country, armed with adequate weapons, and that was not made available to them. So for that reason, we are going to, first of all, appeal to the Chief of Army Staff, who is the confirming authority, not to endorse the judgment. But if he disagrees with us, we'll go to the Court of Appeal.
So if not death penalty, what verdicts are you hoping for?
No verdict, no. We are expecting that the boys were going to be discharged and acquitted, because the evidence was totally overwhelming in their favor.
The Independent National Electoral Commission says claims that it does not have sufficient funds to conduct 2015 elections successfully are wide of the mark. Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman Kaudi Idowu says the Commission has no reason to complain about paucity of funds, though the Chairman of INEC, Tahiru Jaga, was recently reported to have said inadequate funding was a challenge that was threatening the conduct of the forthcoming elections. But Idowu says the Commission is receiving a lot of goodwill and cooperation from other arms of government, for which he says the Commission is grateful. Though he admitted that all the funds needed to fully plan for the 2015 elections have not been released, Idowu was optimistic that the federal government would meet the needs of the electoral body. Idowu also says INEC will be tracking down how much money political parties and their candidates spend on the 2015 election campaigns. Idowu urged parties and their candidates to be orderly and shun violence in next year's elections. INEC, however, says it will start a revalidation and upgrading of its ad hoc staff recruitment data bank in preparation for the forthcoming general elections. The Buhari Campaign Organization has expressed its commitment to a campaign based on issues that will lift the average Nigerian from poverty to prosperity. It says issues of electricity generation, poverty elimination, eradication of corruption, mass employment and security of lives and property would form the focal points of its campaign. The presidential campaign team of the All Progressives Congress made this commitment in a statement announcing the opening of its media and communications office headed by veteran media strategist Dele Alake. While seeking restraint in campaign messages, the Buhari campaign team challenges its competitors and other sympathizers to produce and propagate only messages that will enlighten and ennoble the electoral process. It ordered that on its part, it will seek to articulate and demonstrate why its candidate is the most appropriate contestant with the technical and technocratic skills to crush the rampaging insurgents and bring peace to a nation losing a protracted guerrilla war. It's CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce someone special here tonight whose understanding, knowledge, and support has truly made our juice company prosper.
I wonder what goes into making this.
You'd be amazed. It often starts from the farm, where fresh fruits are grown and carefully sorted, and straight on to the factory, where they are pressed, processed, and packaged. Then off they go again, this time to large distributors like you, and retail shops, where people buy and pay with ease.
You seem to know quite a lot about this. You work for the juice company then?
I suppose I do.
Please join me in welcoming our business banking service partner, Stanbic IBTC Bank, to partnerships that move us forward. Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
I no longer worry about deodorant stains with Nivea Invisible for black and white deodorant. No white marks on black and no yellow stains on white. My black stays black and white stays white longer. And I stay 48 hours protected. New Invisible for black and white deodorant from Nivea.
Also available, Nivea Men Invisible for black and white deodorant from Nivea Men.
Welcome back, CoreTV News on the hour. You can also catch us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter at CoreTV News NG. On YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV, with the space, then news. As the crisis thrown up by the primaries of the People's Democratic Party and various state chapters of the party and its aftermath continue, President Goodluck Jonathan has appealed to all aggrieved aspirants not to dump the party. The president, who was speaking at the fundraising dinner of the party at the banquet hall at the presidential villa in Abuja, says the national leadership of the party is working hard to resolve conflicts thrown up by the primaries in many states. The primaries of the party for the selection of candidates for the 2015 general elections has thrown up crises in most states' chapters, with accusation of imposition of candidates by either the governors or the national headquarters of the party, leading to the defection of aspirants such as the former Oyo State Governor Ala Okala, Samuel Orotum, a former minister under Jonathan, and Seyi Makinde. Jonathan, however, advised aggrieved party members to remain in the party to correct whatever is wrong in the party, as against jumping ship, while also saying that all the cases of aggrieved aspirants in the states may not be resolved to the satisfaction of all concerned, while the party will take all the issues that arose from the primaries for the 2015 general elections into account when preparing for the 2019 process, but concluded that the major task before his part is to ensure that the nation remains one invisible entity. The governorship candidate of Labour Party in Rivers State, Tonya Prince-Will, says the People's Democratic Party will lose Rivers State because of the disorganized state of the party. He alleged that the imposition of the PDP governorship candidate, who was the former Minister of State for Education, Nyesom Wike, has disorganized the party, while also hailing the choice of Femi Oshibajo as running mate of Buhari by the APC as a smart move. Prince-Will, who until his defection from the PDP was a governorship aspirant, condemned what he described as a humiliating treatment meted to other PDP aspirants because of Wike. He says he decided not to support Wike because he believes he cannot win positing that he cannot watch the APC win without taking any action, which is why, according to him, he left for the Labour Party to keep his agenda of giving the people of the state another option. Management of Ekiti State University at Ado-Ekiti has opposed a bid by the 19 All Progressives Congress lawmakers of the Ekiti State House of Assembly to conduct their primaries in the institution, saying the institution will not allow political meetings to be held on its campus. The opposition lawmakers had at their plenary presided over by the Speaker, Adewale Omiri, at an undisclosed location in Ado-Ekiti on Friday, resolved to hold their sittings and conduct normal legislative business at the Faculty of Science, Ekiti State University at Ado-Ekiti for security reasons, following a motion by Majority Leader Churchill Adedikwe. An action, has said, is supported by Section 101 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. But the management of the university, in a statement issued by the Registrar Emmanuel Ogunyemi, says no political meetings would be allowed on the premises, describing the campus as an academic environment which is committed to teaching, learning and research, and will not be joined in unnecessary political issues. The university also dismissed rumors of any plenary sitting of the APC lawmakers ever being held on its campus, and saying none of such will be allowed. Rivers State's Governor Rotimi Amechi has stated his belief that no emperor will govern the state, as the people will not vote for any governorship candidate who is high-handed leader. Amechi, while speaking at the Freestyle Parade of the Rivers State Cultural Festival known as Canirif in Port Harcourt, says Rivers people would only vote for a statesman and an effective leader that understands their problems. The governor expressed the belief that All Progressives Congress would win the forthcoming governorship election, ordering that an APC governor in the state will not allow the annual Canirif celebration to die. Going further, Amechi says the candid advice he has for the people of Rivers is to vote for a leader and not an emperor who will not identify with their problems. He also says the emergence of an APC governor will help in sustaining the Canirif in years to come and finally liberate the people of Rivers from poverty. With the 2015 general elections gradually approaching, the issue of violence and political thuggery has again come to fore, with killings and violence in some parts of the country. In this report, our correspondent Uluwashi Adegoke takes a look at the issue.
The political history of Nigeria has been dotted with stories of strong men holding fort in localities with a little hint of violence, either directly or indirectly. The post-independence period has seen the nation struggling with violence thrown up by politics, with events such as Operation Wete and others like it. Some primaries conducted recently ahead 2015 elections were indication that violence linked to political thugs may be a major problem in the 2015 elections if this issue is not properly addressed. These politicians say political thuggery is an aberration that they do not encourage.
We have been in the struggle for a violent free election.
Political thuggery is against the will of God, and those who are engaged in it must stop.
Thuggery, people are already dying, you know, in over 2015, and a lot more are going to die.
This Nigerian lawyer says the law abhors violence of any kind.
There is no law, whether written or unwritten, that supports thuggery. So the Constitution is definitely against thuggery.
Speaking on behalf of all security agencies, who have been questioned for their roles in some of the political violence witnessed before now. Lagos State Commandant of the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, Donatus Ikemefuna, says all hands are on deck to prevent thuggery in the coming elections.
All security agencies have decided to come together as one so that all those skirmishes that we envisage that will come up, will be forestalled and taken care of. There is going to be total synergy of all security agencies, and this is calling on everybody. It's not just security agencies, even politicians and the public to give us information so that those problems that we envisage, will be nipped in the bud.
While the security agents made a promise for election security, and the Independent National Electoral Commission also promises free, fair and credible elections, most Nigerians expect that all stakeholders work to ensure that the 2015 general elections is violence-free. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The House of Representatives says it will appeal the judgment of an Abuja Federal High Court, which stopped it from summoning the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Diziani Alison Madueke. Federal High Court, presided over by Justice Hamid also halted the House's probe of the 10 billion naira the minister reportedly spent on maintaining a private jet, Challenger 850 for her trips. The judge had held in its ruling last week that the summons of the House to the minister to answer questions on the jet was invalid on the grounds that the House resolution was neither published in the Journal of the National Assembly nor in the official gazette of the federal government. House spokesman Zakari Mohammed, speaking to newsmen in Abuja, says the last has not been heard of the face-off between the House and the oil minister. It says the House's lawyers were reviewing the court's decision and would enter the appropriate appeal against the judgment. Mohammed, however, says he will not be speaking further on the issue so as not to jeopardize the appeal being prepared by the lawyers. National President of the Men's Fellowship of the Methodist Church Nigeria, Samuel Jofo, says the threat posed by food and job insecurity in Nigeria today are far bigger than that of Boko Haram terrorist sect. Jofo, who, while speaking after the end of the 18th National Conference of the Fellowship in Umuahia, says that unless something urgent is done to address the looming job losses that may follow the crashing oil prices, as well as the issue of food scarcity, the nation may be headed in a wrong direction. While blaming politicians for paying lip service to the problems of the country, he called for collaboration between the church and government as a way out of the country's many woes, saying politicians are to blame for the current state of affairs. He says the activities of Boko Haram is more political than religious and condemned the failure of all parties to practice internal democracy, something he says has contributed to the nation's woes. It's CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take another break. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Driver shouting Allahu Akbar, God is greatest in Arabic, plunged into pedestrians in Dijon, Eastern France, injuring 11 of them just days after a man yelling the same words was killed in an attack on police officers. French police say he was arrested after targeting pedestrians in 5 different parts of the city in the space of half an hour. And the 2 of the people injured in the car attack in the city of Dijon were in a serious condition. He is said to be apparently imbalanced and have spent time in a psychiatric hospital. The lives of the 2 people seriously injured in Dijon are not said to be in danger. In the city center, traces of blood and attempts by authorities to cover it up with sand could be seen, and victims and their families were being cared for at the hospital nearby. Witnesses told police the driver, aged around 40, had also said he was acting for the children of Palestine, an unnamed source says. Last year in France, a recent convert to Islam also stabbed a soldier in the busy Paris commercial complex and transport hub of La Défense. That's our news for this hour. Join us again. I am Gift or Gete.